Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And a look at the offense that is hoping to put some points up in bunches here in this one. And the back goes into motion. Now Taylor to throw on second down. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. On first down, Procise. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And the 11 defensive starters for Arizona.
Tyrann Mathieu has a cornerback's build with safety skills. The Honey Badger knows where the football is.
Seven yards to go on second down. Time running out here on the play clock. On second down, Taylor. Going to throw right side here, complete. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Play clock winding down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The offensive line and its ability to open holes in this defensive front, something they were confident they could create in this game. Got the job done there, picked up the first. And something they wanted to do. Have we ever met offensive linemen that don't want to fire out and hit people? I mean, they love the running game. Guys want to do that. And when you emphasize it, practice it, and work on it, that gives you an opportunity to win the game. Officially, no gain on the play, and it's second down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive. Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. And the play clock's running down. They snap it at one. Now it's Taylor trying to lay one up deep. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, your first drive of the first quarter, you get it down there, trying to fire it in the end zone, and big-time deflation on that play.
No doubt about it. They're moving and grooving and getting into position, and this is not the ending that they saw on this drive, is it? They had things going their way.
They come out with one back and three tight ends. On the ground, this is Isaiah Crowell. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Now back to throw. His throw incomplete. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver, and it's third down. And when this offense is clicking on all cylinders, the running back is in sync as well.
The focal point. Runs, catches, blocks, sets the tone for the offense.
Third down, he'll drop to throw. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver, and that brings up fourth down. On fourth down on now is the lefty Ryan Allen to punt. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. So out of bounds on the punt, and the spot will be, the side judge says, right at the 35-yard line here. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
The drive starts with C.J. Prosise. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up the defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
On second down, here's Taylor. Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up third down. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
Let's go! Ohio!
Third and long, it's Taylor. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
He's got him in, complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. They practiced this all week. Pretty clear it paid off there. Threw it downfield, made it look relatively easy.
And it always comes a little bit easier when you've practiced it and tuned things up and you're confident in what you're doing now. They felt very, very good about their plan, and we saw the execution because the confidence of the players was there.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And a look at Seattle's defense.
Michael Bennett is one of the best pass-rushing defensive linemen in the game. Normally plays defensive end, but when they go to those nickel packages and he works inside, look out, offensive guards. You got a problem.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. They'll come out in the pistol.
Here we go. 3.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Going up top. It's caught at the 10. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. But sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Back to throw. On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. Three yards left to grab here on 3rd down. Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football, and they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here. Let's see if they can convert here on 3rd and 3. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st. And the offense lining up 1st and 10.
Let's go.
He'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Second down here after the incomplete pass.
Let's go. Green, 39.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
There's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
A nickel look by Seattle on 3rd down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now. Looking to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt, and he missed it. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. They send Stills in motion. Throwing now, Taylor on first down. And he slings one that's incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And that'll bring up second down. Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. A second down carry for Procise. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
So he makes the grab and the chains move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line giving them time to complete that first down pass.
First and 10, it's Taylor. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now, the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it, we can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
They'll come out in the pistol. They'll hand it off to Procise. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you've got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers.
Come on, let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38! Ohio!
On second down, Taylor. And a quick throw here, that's complete. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
So completion on second down, that brings up third.
Ohio! Ohio! Let's go! What? Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round!
From the gun, it's Taylor. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So out now come the Cardinals. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
And that'll be incomplete.
And on 3rd and 3, they decided to go with a dime package.
Yeah.
6 DBs.
Yeah, you're right. They've got 6 out there. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve.
Here we go now. Green, 30.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Game clock at 2:01. Time for one final play before the 2-minute warning. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Officially a minute 54 to go in this first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. He'll look to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. 16 yards to the 16 and a first down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll lose yardage here. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney. All right, here we go. Let's go. No. Check. Patriot. All right, here we go.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals are in for 6. And he puts it through. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown. Away. And they will not not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself. And that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Going for the deep ball. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, he decided to air it out a little bit on that play, take a shot downfield, but the coverage was really nice, able to get a hand in and tip it away.
Defense has set themselves up nicely. 3rd and 10 now. Again, we'll see the pistol here. So the D-line's going to spread out. So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look. 6 DBs. Out of the gun, it's Taylor. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Buying time to his left. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not.
So when the defense complains about having to do pursuit drills in the heat of training camp, plug in this play. Excellent pursuit. Force the quarterback out of the pocket. He ends up trying to run for it. Instead, he goes out of bounds and loses yardage. That goes down as a sack for the defense.
2nd down now after the sack. He'll drop to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Now back to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. Here's Ryan Allen now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
They go back to the air here after the INT. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. 4 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face a third down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. On third down, Taylor. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears try to go for it on fourth. And they're going to go soft on the corners. Here we go on fourth down with Taylor. Finding time. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. And pump the brakes, Larry. Pump the brakes. We are ready for quarter number 3. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
Watch left, watch left. Tight end to the left, tight end left. Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. All right, now look at 56.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll make it a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Second down now after the pass completion.
Here we go now. Green 3.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. He'll get 3 up to midfield. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
And 3 full yards here for the offense to get on third down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
Here we go now. 3-19. No, check.
Back to throw now on first down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. 5 yards on the pickup, and it's a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Let's go. Blue landing.
Back to throw here. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, This feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Third down and 5. Back to throw again. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion as we just saw there, that's winning football.
Now Chandler Catanzaro for the Cardinal field goal. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. So he missed a field goal earlier, but he says not this time, and he's able to knock it through to give his guys 3.
And that's all you want as a kicker, a chance to redeem yourself. You got to have a short memory if you're going to survive at this level, and he's able to get back on track.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown. But when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
The Seahawks send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
But sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
And on 2nd and 10 now. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. And with a 3rd and 13 here, the defense in a dime look. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man Hilton. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
They'll look to throw here on first down. He's got his man on the crossing route. It goes as a pickup of 23, and it's good enough for an Arizona first. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there.
Michael Bennett's versatility, being able to play any position along the defensive front, allows him to make those types of plays. He finds good matchups and gets into the offensive backfield.
And there it works for a tackle for loss. Down the numbers. There he goes. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. He's got it, and it's 17-0. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down.
But there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Flex round! Flex round! Let's go!
On 2nd down, Taylor. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
Well, an incomplete pass certainly doesn't look like a good play. For the guy throwing it today, as many interceptions he's thrown, he's got to feel a sigh of relief that the ball actually hit the ground and didn't go in the other direction.
Again, now it's Taylor on 2nd and 10. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They've got to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
There's so many times during camp and practice that you get bored as a player doing regular drills. But how about that shed and skate drill right there by the linebacker? You do it each and every day. Get the blocker away and get into the backfield and make a big-time tackle. That's what we just saw.
And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked the ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the 2nd down incompletion.
All right, here we go.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's got his target. It's Cobb. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number one receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's Cardinal football. They're also out in front of the scoreboard as we get set for the fourth. And they'll go on the ground. A beautiful fake. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, given them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
And this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
Now let's go. Back to the penalty. Here we go. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. It's a pickup of 19. And the Seahawks are going to have a first down.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. Throwing now, Taylor on first down. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
If you run an out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up and making sure it was a catch.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 11 yards on the pickup, and it's good enough for a Seattle first.
So after a run like that, I will guarantee that the head coach is saying to himself, maybe even over his headsets to the rest of the staff, where was that all game long? We needed that. That's the type of run we planned for going into the game. Didn't get much of that, but let's move it forward. Let's build on it, get ready for the next week, and let's go play.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Second down following the incompletion. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. And the slot man goes in motion left.
Flex round. Flex round. Flex round.
Second and 10 now. It's Taylor. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
They come out here in the eye.
Let's go.
On first down, it's Taylor. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target, and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Here we go.
Off the play fake, here's Taylor. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Now Taylor. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. Oh, and the defender took some liberties there with a late hit, roughing the passer.
The league has done a great job of defining what is a late hit and illegal contact on a quarterback. The defenders really have to get in line.
Let's go, D. Here we go.
Again, it's Taylor. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Kyle Rudolph, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. And it's 17-7. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
Leverage.
big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And his throw here is incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store.
Here we go now.
On play action, they'll throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, here we go.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right.
39.
And they're definitely showing blitz here. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Caught left side by Hilton. The reception good for 7. It's third down. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
Short of the sticks after that completion, and now it's third down for this offense.
All right, here we go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's got his man. It's Williams. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. Because strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way, lost yardage.
No, for some reason, it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. A great read, and it's picked off. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They start out with a run from Precise. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this.
Watch 16, watch 16. Single. Come on, let's go!
Taylor to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7. An extra DB added here for the Cards on third.
Blitzer play coverage.
Come on, here we go. Ohio.
And now they're in the hurry-up. Here's Taylor to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. Now it's Taylor. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. A heck of a play there on 3rd down, but amazingly, they're still short for 4th. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there. We always talk about big-time players make big-time plays in big-time moments. I think that 4th down qualified. That was a heck of a throw.
Here's Taylor. He's got time in the pocket. He's going to let it fly. And they went big on 1st down. Proves unfruitful.
That's going to frustrate the coaching staff a little bit as they dialed up the deep shot. But they weren't on the same page on that play. Heck, I don't think they were in the same book. I think he thought he was going to do something else. Ends up throwing it over the sidelines. Well incomplete.
So the ref makes a call. No touchdown there. Wipe it off the board. And he's got it up and through. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. They come up in an offset eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And an alley to run. And in for the score. Are you kidding me? They return it, and they take the lead. And that is a tough pill to swallow. All they had to do, Charles, keep the ball, work this clock.
The only way for the defense to win was to force the fumble. And they did. Took it the other way for a score. And now, if you're the offensive team, it will take a miracle, perhaps, to win this ball game.
So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. One possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring, and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. Again, we'll see the pistol here.
All right, here we go.
He's back to throw. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because...
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. The handoff, running left, Corral. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. Well, Charles, this one's going to be hard to digest. You take the lead into the 4th quarter, lose that lead. Maybe they felt like they let this one slip away a little bit.
They will definitely feel like that because when you have a lead in the 4th quarter, all you talk about doing is finishing and closing a game out. But when you flip it over, how about that? Making the comeback and then finishing the game, sealing it on defense, they will feel jubilant in their locker room.
So for the Seahawks, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-5. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, you start to wonder if it's going to happen this year. The skid has hit 13 in a row on the season. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets. So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.